She leaned over the counter and whispered it like a joke. But the room went silent when she said, "People like you don't usually order that." And in that moment, I realized everyone was watching to see how I'd react. My name is Aaliyah Brooks. I'm a black woman born and raised in Columbus, Ohio. I work 2 jobs. I pay my bills on time. I mind my business. That morning, I dressed sharp, pressed blazer, gold hoops, hair pulled back neat. Not to impress anyone. Just because when the world already doubts you, you learn to show up polished. I walked into Larkin's Café, a downtown spot known for artsy vibes and $8 lattes. I'd never been there before, but I had a job interview nearby and I wanted to calm my nerves. All I wanted was coffee. The line was short. 2 white women in front of me laughed with the barista like old friends. When it was my turn, the smile faded. "What'll it be?" she asked, already looking past me. "An oat milk vanilla latte," I said calmly. She paused. Then she squinted at me. "We usually recommend drip coffee," she said. "It's simpler." I smiled, confused. "No, the latte's fine." She sighed, loudly, and tapped the screen like I was making her life harder. Behind me, a man cleared his throat. I felt that familiar heat crawl up my neck. When I handed her my card, she held it between 2 fingers, like it was dirty. "ID?" she asked. I blinked. The women before me hadn't been asked. "For coffee," I said softly. "Policy," she replied. People shifted. Someone chuckled awkwardly. I handed it over. She stared at my name. "Aaliyah," she read slowly, then smiled, not kindly. She didn't give my ID back right away. She turned it over, then over again, like she was searching for something wrong. Behind me, the line grew. Someone whispered, "Come on," another person sighed. I felt that familiar pressure, the kind that doesn't come from the room, but from history, from knowing that if I spoke too loudly, I'd be labeled. If I stayed quiet, I'd disappear. "I just need to verify," she said, still holding my card. "Verify what?" I asked. She looked up, eyes flat. "That you're actually paying." The words landed heavy. I glanced at the register. My card was already approved. Green check mark. Receipt printing. Still she held my ID. I noticed then how tight my chest felt, how my palms were damp. I thought about my mother, how she used to say, "Baby, sometimes you gotta swallow it to survive." But I was tired of swallowing. I glanced around the cafe. Exposed brick walls. Indie music humming low. A sign that read, "Everyone is welcome." I almost laughed. A young white guy stepped forward and said, "Hey, she already paid." The barista shot him a look sharp enough to cut. "I'm handling it," she snapped. Then she turned back to me and said the sentence that changed everything. "You don't need to get defensive." Defensive? I hadn't raised my voice. I hadn't cursed. I hadn't even frowned. Yet suddenly I was the problem. I took a slow breath. "I just want my coffee," I said. That's when she leaned closer and lowered her voice. "People come in here trying to be something they're not." My ears rang. The room felt smaller, hotter. I thought about the interview I was headed to, how I'd practiced my answers in the mirror, how badly I needed that job. And here I was being reduced to a stereotype over oat milk. That's when Evan appeared behind the counter. I watched his eyes flick from her to me, and I already knew. I already knew who he'd believe. "Is that your real name?" Something cracked in my chest. "Yes," I said. "It is." That's when the manager walked over. A tall white man with a beard and an apron. Evan, according to his tag. "What's the issue?" he asked. "She's being difficult," the barista said. "She wants something off menu." I hadn't raised my voice. I hadn't complained. Evan looked at me, not at the screen, not at the receipt, at me. Then he leaned in and said it. Quiet enough to deny. Loud enough for me to hear. "Maybe this place just isn't your vibe." The words hit harder than a slap. I felt my hand shake. I opened my mouth and closed it, because that's the moment every black woman knows. The moment where anger makes you aggressive, where silence makes you weak. The room was still. And then, a voice from behind me spoke up. "That's not what you said to me yesterday." The voice belonged to an older white woman in a tailored coat. She stepped forward. "I come here every morning," she said, "and I've watched how you treat people who don't look like me." Evan froze. She turned to the room. She ordered a latte. You questioned her intelligence, her name, and her right to be here. Then a man near the door raised his phone. I've been recording, he said. The barista's face drained of color. Evan stammered. That's not. The woman cut him off. No, it is. She turned to me. I'm sorry, she said gently. You deserve better than this. Evan's shoulders dropped. I apologize, he muttered. It won't happen again. But it was too late. The truth had already filled the room. I didn't stay for the coffee. I walked out with my head high and my heart pounding. Outside, the city kept moving. Cars, buses, people rushing to places that might or might not welcome them. I sat on a bench and breathed. What stayed with me wasn't the insult. It was the silence before someone spoke up, and the power of what happened after. Because respect shouldn't depend on witnesses. Dignity shouldn't require proof. But sometimes justice shows up anyway. And when it does, it reminds you. You were never the problem. If this story moved you, you already know why it matters. This is the Black Diaries. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment your thoughts below. Your voice matters. Your story matters. And together, we make sure they're heard.
If you enjoyed this video, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to the channel as your support truly helps us grow. We'd also love to hear from you, so leave a comment below and share your thoughts. We read every single comment. We are on a mission to reach 1,000 subscribers, and every bit of support brings us one step closer. Thank you for being part of Black Diaries and supporting the journey.